Hi beautiful people, welcome to my little intro before Let's Talk Live with me. Tonight's episode is inspired by one of my t-shirts called Gratitude and it has a little message in it. It's called Power of the Prayer. We will talk about grief, faith, and how you move forward when you lose someone. We will talk with Wendy, who is my walking angel, my sister from another mother, and she will share her story of how she dealt with grief and loss of her mom a year ago. I will share my stories of grief, and we will talk about it in general, how we went through our pain and how we move forward with life. So I hope you will enjoy our chit chat. And if you are someone who is going through this grief right now, or if you know someone who is going through this grief and you like what you see, please share it with them. If we can make you smile for a second, or forget about that pain for a second. And I know it's hard because I'm going through it right now, and Wendy's going through it, so we know it's not easy. But if we can make you smile just for a second, because there are parts of the video where we are being silly, it will be our honor to make you smile. So I hope you will enjoy it. Enjoy your Sunday evening and have a beautiful work week. I love you guys and thank you for watching. Bye. Hi beautiful people, welcome to Let's Talk Live with me. My name is Lenka and I'm the creator and founder of Me by Lenka. And today with me is here my beautiful walking angel on earth, Wendy. Hi Wendy, welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm Wendy Van Dyne, and I am the founder and owner of Synchronicity Wildlife Center. And the point of the center is to kind of bring together all different types of healing, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. And today we're going to talk a little bit about spirituality in terms of faith and grief, and how we kind of push through those things, and what we do when we're in that grieving process. And I think the beginning of that is basically what you have on your t-shirt. Lenka really does relate life to her t-shirts, to her art, and how life fits into that. And right on this t-shirt, I think, is the most beautiful image.
Yeah.
She calls it gratitude.
Actually, I call it gratitude, but it says power of the prayer. Yeah. I created this t-shirt when someone very close to my heart was in the hospital and going through some health issues, and we all were worried, and that's the image came to my head, and I sketched it for myself. I figured maybe it will give us power, and I love wearing this t-shirt all the time, especially when we go through hard times or happy times. I wear this t-shirt when I'm grateful for something, or when I'm praying for something, or hoping for something positive to happen. And just like you said, it's one of my, I mean, I cannot say one of my favorite, because I love all my creations. It's like, you know,
it's
you
one
cannot,
of my favorites.
yeah, you cannot pick your children, you know, but it's like one
It's
of my,
definitely one of my favorite. My friend saw this and asked her to put it into a painting, which she did, which Lenka did for her, and I have it on my phone, case.
Yeah, case.
And I keep it at work turned over, and I look at it several times a day.
Yeah,
It's very inspiring.
it says power of the prayer, and of course it's femininity, because my business is all about empowering women and expressing their femininity and their feminine side. And like I said, and today we would like to talk about the grief, because we both are going through a lot. I actually lost my little 7 months old kitten. He was my love, my baby. And I know you lost your mom a year ago, so I think this is right topic to help other people who go, and especially after last night news, you heard what happened in Virginia Beach, right?
Yes.
So I think this is great topic to help people to navigate through the grief and help them. I mean, I'm personally very angry right now with the universe and God, and I know it's not their fault. And people usually turn to God, right?
Yeah, and I think what you said is right. It is a navigation process. Um, I was extremely close to my mom. I never even had that period when I turned 13, 12, where mom was no longer cool. My mother was cool not only to me, but also all my friends. They always loved her, called her mom. I always had 10, 15 people in the house at any time, and they could talk to her about anything. She was wonderful. She was an inspiring person, always behind me, no matter what, supported me 100%.
So how did you go through that?
Um, it was a process too, because it wasn't fast, it wasn't quick. She had a series of strokes, and we lost her by inches. And I don't know if there's any better way to lose someone. I don't know if a sudden death or a prolonged death. The bottom line is it's a death. And I don't think there's any comparing either, whether it be a kitten or whether it be a person. A person's grief is their grief.
I love what we were talking yesterday together. Of course, I've been crying to her, and I love what you told me, because I said I feel so bad crying about the kitten when people go through, like, see people at Virginia Beach, they lost family members, or I lost my husband 10 years ago, and Wendy lost her mom. So I felt bad comparing their grief, but I said that this kitten was in my life for 6 months. I cannot have kids, so to me he was my baby, and the way I fall in love with this little, I call him a little human. I couldn't explain Wendy yesterday how much that meant to me. Like, people usually, I was one of those a-holes who were like, oh my god, well, your cat died, your dog died, I'm sorry for your loss, but I never understood that pain. And yesterday I am still heartbroken with my fiance. We cry every day, and it's just a kitten. And I love what you said to me yesterday, that no matter if it's a person or it's an animal, grief is grief.
Exactly.
And I love when you said it to me. I feel much better.
Yeah. And I think the bottom line is this: we have to allow ourselves to go through this, and we have to understand that it is a process. At first, there's so much just sorrow, and then that is followed by anger. You and they have these stages of grief. Everybody is probably familiar with them, and you get angry, and you don't even sometimes know what you're angry at, and you angry at the universe or God, whatever you believe in. You're angry at yourself a lot of times too. I remember feeling like I didn't do enough for my mom, that I'm in this field, and why couldn't I help her? Why couldn't I save her? And you did so much for him, as far as taking care of him through his illness. And I don't think grief is ever anything that leaves us. You lost your husband 10 years ago. I lost my grandmother, my brother, my grandmother, and my uncle, all within the space of 2 years when I was in my teens. And then my mom now. You carry it always with you. But I think that if you don't allow yourself to go through this process, then there's the problem.
Yeah.
Then you don't. It isn't a matter of moving forward. I mean moving on, because when you move on, the implication is that you've left it behind,
yes.
And that it's no longer a part of you. You've shed it, more or less. And I think you move forward. And that doesn't mean that you carry it as a burden.
No, like I said in my post yesterday, if those who follow me, they know, but I said in my post, they say that time heals everything, but I don't think it heals. It teaches you to learn with it, and I know we will move on. I experienced it on my own. I found my amazing fiance, right? Giuseppe, you love it.
Giuseppe!
It's the best thing ever happened to me. And when my husband died, I never thought I will fall in love again, or I never loved again. And 4.5 years later, I met my munchkin, and he's the best thing ever happened to me. So, and the best thing about him is that he accepts me talking about Jimmy. We always talk about him, you know.
Mhm.
So,
And grief doesn't even really apply even to death. You know, it's loss. So the loss of a relationship. You know, it's always anything that causes an emotional scar. You know, is something that you.
but
grieve
how do you
on.
move on? Like right now, I stopped praying. Like the day he died, the Eiffel died, I said I will never say one prayer again. I've been praying, I've been meditating, I've been sacrificing things, I've been talking to these angels, or I've been around spiritual people, and mm, you know how it turned out. So how do you, you know, and that's only like I know some people don't believe in God, don't believe in universe, don't believe, you know, in these things, but how do you move on? Like how do you, you know, I stopped praying and I understand. I even inside in deep in my heart I believe that there is not God's fault. You know, I've been told that we are here to learn lessons and everything happens for a reason. But how we were just with my fiance talking a few days ago when our munchkins was going through that we crying over our little kitten, like how do parents survive death of their child?
I will tell you when I was 16, my older brother, he was 18, was killed. And I had to watch my mother and my father go through that. And all that everybody kept saying at his wake was, "You're never supposed to lose your children."
Yeah.
It's the other way around. I don't think there's any rule. You know, whether you lose your children or whether a child loses a parent, I think that you get through it by understanding that the day just, it's a day by day process. And sometimes it's even a moment by moment process. You will feel you're okay and that you're having a good day, and then you'll hear a song on the radio, or you'll pass by a store where you used to have lunch, or you know, somebody will say something and it will bring you back. You have to understand that there's another moment that's going to come behind this one. There are other moments ahead of you. And if you choose to stay too stuck, then all the moments afterward will not matter. And we're left here for a reason. Sometimes it doesn't seem like you can figure that out.
I know.
And sometimes it just feels so bad. You ask why. Why it wasn't me? Why I'm still left here? What's the purpose? And when people say
why
things,
is this happening to me? Why me? Why me? Right?
Yes, and when people say things like, you know, time heals all wounds, or you know, this too shall pass, or everything happens for a reason. And when you're at the stage you're at, you're very angry with those words, and they seem like platitudes. They really do. You're just trying to shut me up. You're just trying to make me feel better, and I will not feel better. You know what? You won't.
Yeah. There is no. Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks hard. It's a physical process too.
But I love how you helped me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there when your mom passed away because we didn't know each other. But I love how you helping me and another our friend Dana. You guys calling me every day. You asking me if you can do anything. It's like the only thing you can do for other people, just call them every day, talk to them every day, offer them help, even though they say no. I remember I was very nasty when Jimmy died to my mother. You know, I was shutting everybody down. I was very nasty to people. I was numb for 3 years. I think my third year was the worst year. I think it was like waking up from anesthesia from dentists, you know, when they put needles and do the surgery on your gums and you are numb. And then suddenly it goes away and you feel the pain. I think my third year was the worst year.
Yeah. And we will do things to numb the pain. We will self-medicate sometimes.
Sugar.
Right? And that could be whether it be eating or whether it be drinking or whether it be doing other types of drugs.
That's where I gained like 50 pounds.
To shut it out. Just to shut it. I don't want to deal with this. And I'm going to find something else. You're right. I think that I don't have anything that I can
Yeah.
say that will take away your
But
pain.
what did you do? Maybe we can help people who go through it, help them. I mean, to me, it helped me that I was in architectural school. I concentrated on work. I was constantly in school, work.
Yep. I was going to say, get busy. Don't ruminate. Don't sit and just wallow. That is the worst thing you can do.
That's what I'm doing now.
I think you can do that for a certain amount of time. You know, I do think, and in ways, I think that's kind of healthy. You just, you feel it, you let yourself feel it, you get into it. But, you know, I would say, you know, after a couple weeks, after a month, depending upon your personality and who you are, you know, get back into the business of living because you're here. And you know, I don't know, you know, and I'm not one to ever preach to anybody about spirituality.
No, this is not about preaching.
Right, or to say, oh, you know, there's another life out there, or no, this is the only life you get. The bottom line is, and I told you this yesterday, my nana was a wonderful person, just so awesome, and she told me, you know, I don't know about past lives, future lives, but I don't know about that, or if this is the only thing you get. All I know is I'm here now, and I can't only make this the best life I can, and that means taking all the crap that life throws at you, because there are really good times too. And you know, I think, you know, she was right, and I think getting back into work, you know, coming and spending time with your friends. You don't want to. You don't really have a lot to say. You feel a little disconnected from everybody at first. But it's important that you not be too alone.
And I think it's important that this is actually for people who are around the people who lost someone or something. I think you shouldn't give up on them. You should call them. You know, it's 4 days, it's not enough to tell someone, okay, I'll reach out to you and now I'm gonna stay away. I mean, depends how much you love the person. I mean, I think even just you leave them message every day, even though they wouldn't listen or they wouldn't want to talk to you. It's just, for me, it's important. At least that's what I would do. I would call you every day, no matter if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. I just would leave you a message every day. I would even knock on your door. I think I would knock on your door, grab you by the neck, and I was like, you're going out.
Yes.
You know, I wouldn't tell you after 4 days of like, okay, well, you're not answering my messages. Okay, well, I'm done.
I think, again, because people do that, they tend to withdraw, or they want to reach out. It's usually either or. They want a lot of people around them, you know, because that keeps them busy.
But it was more about the people.
Or they don't, or they want to be alone. And if they want to be alone, the people around them, family, friends, have to understand that and give you that space. You know, give that space to yourself. Give that space to the person.
But I think you should leave the messages.
I was just about to say, but continue to, you know, even if it's just a text message. I'm thinking about you. I want you to know I'm here. When you're ready, I'm here. And then, you know, if it's been, I don't know, a couple weeks and you're really not getting that, I'd be at the doorstep knocking on the door. Because sometimes we can isolate a little too much.
Yeah.
And get into that. That becomes a habit too, and maybe not such a great habit.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that the way to get through grief is to understand it's a process, number one. And every single stage of it has its really horrible things, but also has its useful things. The anger that you go through is kind of like a cleansing process.
And there is no right way or
no right way to grieve, and no right. There are people that go back to work the day after.
I had a month after my husband died. I had a month after a month. I had the finals.
Well, I had
no idea how I went through it, but I went through it.
I was in a position where I had started a new job. I left. I felt like I needed to be back somewhere familiar and back home, and so I was out in the Midwest, and I came home and
Thank God.
I started a new job.
Thank God, because I wouldn't have you here.
And I had to go right back to work. So
Yeah.
there was, I don't think it's what works for you. And I don't think at this point people, sometimes you'll have those family members or people that'll start to judge you a little and be like, oh, you're too sad or you're too angry or you didn't go back to work soon enough or oh, you're going back to work too soon. You cannot please all the people all the time, right? So you're better off pleasing yourself.
And if you are angry, it's okay. I mean, I remember
Absolutely.
my angry moment.
Absolutely.
After, I mean, I understand that my family didn't understand the grief I had because me and my husband had such a crazy relationship before he died. We were fighting like dogs and cats. So I understand that they didn't get it, my grief, because I was heartbroken, but they didn't understand.
Sure.
But
Sure.
I don't know, I lost it all.
What you were saying, I think, is that sometimes those around us don't understand where we are, and
I don't think you will ever understand it unless you go through it or you went through it.
Mm-hmm. And it's as you said, it's different for everyone. And so I think you have to allow yourself to do it at your own pace, but understand that it's always better to do something than nothing.
I remember that my 6 months after Jimmy died, they were signing me for a dating site. The only thing I felt so bad for those guys. I was such a horrible woman to them. Like, I was horrible.
Yeah.
I wish I could apologize to all of them. The only thing I could do is talk about my husband. Well, I felt bad because they spent money. They spent they paid for 6 months on eHarmony.
Oh wow.
So they thought they are going good and help me move on. It's been 6 months. You should go out there. You are 20, 29. I don't know. It's just.
And you know what? Some people at 6 months would have been ready, and some people at a year still wouldn't be ready.
Yeah.
Again, I just have to say it's a process that only you can go through, but it is, as you said, a perfect word. Navigate it. Understand that the people around you are around you to help you, that they want to help you.
Not all of them.
That it's okay. Well, most.
You'll see, especially when you go through those griefs, who are your true friends. Like yesterday, remember when I asked you if the universe is trying to show me something, that I was too attached to the people who are showing their true face right now? Like,
yes, you did ask me that.
Yeah,
and if you know what, we always have to have a takeaway. I think that's part of the moving forward, is that you have something to take away, right? You have that experience with the person or the animal or the just whatever it was that you've lost, which made you a better person. And you never thought that you could ever love a cat.
Jesus. Me and my fiance were always like, he was always a cat lover, and he was like, for 6 years, can we get a cat? I was like, no, I don't like cats. I don't want cats. It was like there. It's like, no. And then we got him, and I fall in love with him in a second. Like he was the best thing. I told my fiance, you are number 2 now.
Well, you know what? He had quite a personality, and he made people love him. That's just how he was. But so I think there are several takeaways, right? That you expanded your love. And that is
and it was taken away.
But it's always worth going through. And
I don't know.
You don't know now. You don't know now.
That's why I'm glad you are here, because I'm very angry right now.
But I think when you look back a year from now, you'll be grateful for your experience with Alpha.
I don't know.
And I think too, maybe part of your takeaway is that you learn, to be a little bit more. A little bit more.
Less a-hole?
No. But, and I think it's also been a tough experience because you are kind of learning about or seeing how people are through this.
That's what I was asking too. Remember yesterday, if this is the reason why? It's like, because they told us that he will not survive a month after diagnosed with FIP. And I didn't believe them. I reached out to homeopath and all these healers and all these spiritual people, and in my heart, I never believed that universe would give me this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful kitten. Like he was very special. And everybody who met him said that this is from the other planet. This animal is from. Like I never ever thought that universe would take him away from me until he did. So I don't know. I have these T-shirts to help me go through it. I'm upset with myself that I stopped praying and being mad at God. I actually apologize because I believe in God. I apologize to him today actually, but I still don't want to pray. I still don't want to say one prayer.
But you know what? That's a process. See, you're in your process, right? Because when I spoke to you a couple of days ago, you were so angry at God that I don't believe in this anymore. I'm never going to talk to him again. And today you're talking to him. So this is what I'm saying, and sometimes it'll be a really slow process. You'll just kind of come to a realization. And sometimes something will hit you and you'll be like, oh, like that commercial, like, oh, I should have had a VA. No. It'll hit you and you'll be like, oh, wow, wait a minute, I need to rethink how I'm acting. And that's in all life, right? So, it's understand that it's a heavy burden, grief. But that there are people that you can reach out to and should reach out to when you're ready. Don't be alone for too long. Don't.
I wouldn't say that. It's just up to you.
No, I'm saying don't. That's what I'm saying. Don't be alone for too long, though. Don't isolate for too long. And let people help you. And sometimes, you don't have a lot to say. As a friend of a person
there is nothing to say.
There really is nothing that you can say.
No.
But you can be around.
The only thing I would say, like I said, leave the message. Give them time. At least I personally would leave you a message every day, even though I know you don't want to talk to me or ignore my text messages or emails. I know I would reach out to you, and after a month, I probably not me. I would knock on your door within a week and bang on the door.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, but accept that. Accept your friends and your family's help. Don't push it away. Don't try to do it alone. Don't try to do it alone.
You didn't push anybody away when your mom died? Okay. Well, like I said, I'm glad you are here because I had totally different experience. I was very nasty to my mother. I actually apologized to her 4 months after Jimmy's death because I was very nasty. I was very nasty person, very angry person. I remember. So. And
that happens too when you're in your anger. And I think the people around you will give you license for that.
How did you?
Yeah. Say,
I get a certificate for being the angriest person.
I know. I mean,
I always turn into anger.
They'll give you room for that. I think that if people love you and understand you and know you, they would say, okay.
How did you grieve? What did you do? Except going back to work. Like, how did you question, like, why God, like, she survived 5 cancers, like, why couldn't she, like, why? Did you ever question?
Yeah, absolutely. I was angry, like I said, because as a natural health practitioner, I just didn't, we thought the progression was different. We thought it was, she was just kind of senility. We were more worried about Alzheimer's because it was a series of very small strokes, and so she didn't have any muscle effect. She didn't lose the ability to walk or talk or use her fingers and none of that. It was more of like she was just forgetting things. We just didn't recognize it, and so of course I beat myself up.
And that's unhealthy. I've been told that it's very unhealthy to.
Yeah. So to stay there, and I was in the Midwest. I tried to get there as much as I could, and it's again, you feel like, oh my God, I wasn't there enough, and so all this for me, I was mad, but I was also guilty.
So how do you return? What would you think? How would you
return? I talk to my mother every day. I talk to my mother every day.
Yeah, but you see, that's what they say. They are around. Like when I hear that, I'm like, okay, well maybe you are a psychic or medium, and maybe you can talk to them.
No, she's not talking back. I'm talking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying that's what people were telling me all the time. Oh, he's around, blah blah blah. But how do you know the proof? Like
I think right, and what I had to do is say, look,
that's because they always say to you, everyone tells you whether they believe God or not, they always say their energy is around. They feel you, they see you, they hear you. But how, you know, I mean, for me personally, I had experience to prove that he's been around. But
Well, I think that I also, even though I was mad and I was very angry, I said to him, God, I've always had such a good and personal relationship with the God I believe in, right? I do believe in God. I come from a Christian background, so and so I was really mad, and I said, I don't understand, but you know what? You've never deserted me. Even through this, you haven't deserted me. This was my mom's experience to have, and I have to understand that, and I know that you're not going to desert me. I realize it's me deserting you, and I need a break. I need some time off. And so I didn't talk to God for a while, and I, but I think, God loves all of his children, and he understands that we're human, and that we make mistakes, and we do things, and we say things.
Yeah, it's the sad part. We always call him when we need him, and then we feel like, okay, I have a...
But that everyday relationship, right? Every day I wake up, I say thank you.
Well,
I'm awake. I woke up.
It's been 6 days. I didn't say one time thank you. Today that was the first thing when I was like, okay, I'm actually looking at blame for someone else like now instead of God. I'm looking at the person who was breathing.
Exactly.
Now I'm looking deeper into it, and I apologize to my God.
And that's the next step, right? The next step is your anger, and then you start to blame. And in my case, it was a lot of self-blame, and you know what happened? My friend who grew up with us and knew my mother said to me, not for 1 minute, would your mother think you didn't do enough?
No, you
or ever blame you. And because that's not who your mother was. And by living in this guilt, you're not doing her a service. You're not understanding who she was, because she would never blame you. This is about you now.
Yeah, this is about you, yeah.
And I thought to myself, wow.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. She's awesome.
I know you for a year, and I think you are a walking angel. Like you, I know that you actually was the only person telling me things that other people were not saying. So I know that you did everything you could do. I mean, you healed your mom from cancer 5 times.
My mom healed herself.
Well, I helped. Oh yeah, exactly. That's why I like what you said. The healers don't heal. No, you heal yourself.
No, anything that I could ever do for someone is offer information. I see myself more as a partner, helping you and maybe giving you some information. But the bottom line is we heal ourselves. And I had to just think that way. And then what I did was I said, okay, she would not want me to carry this blame, this anger, and this guilt. So I have to work through it. Now, does that mean that every single day of my life I don't sometimes kind of feel like, oh, I just wish. Of course, that's the regret part. You're going to move into that too. But I know that.
I like what you said, that there was her road on this planet, there was her time, there was the way, it was her lesson, there was her road. Because I heard it before, that we come here and we already have that ahead of us, like the way what we're supposed to learn on this planet or Earth or whatever. So I'm basically looking at it now, well, what's my next lesson? Like, I mean, I learned from losing my first husband that you will find love again. I mean, I've been told you'll find when you are ready. I mean, after 4.5 years, I was sleeping with a big poster of my husband for 4.5 years by my bed. For 4.5 years. And a month before I met my munchkin, he's gonna hate this, I call him munchkin, but whatever. I put the poster of my husband away and I said, I'm ready. And a month after, I swear God, after I put the poster away and I was ready, I met my munchkin.
And that's the acceptance part of it. That's the acceptance piece.
I think we all have to be.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly where I'm. I don't even know if I'm fully there yet. I think I'm coming to it.
No, it's only a year.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely coming to it.
And I don't think you will ever recover.
I miss my Nana every day. I miss my Uncle Bob.
You more wonder, would they be proud of you? Do I make them proud? Are they happy, or do they see this or that?
Yeah. And I believe they do. I believe that they're always with you. That I know that my family was very proud of me. And always my mother and my grandmother always said, you were important and you are here for a reason. Live your life and live it proud. And that's the thing. I honor my mother now, right? And you will honor Ifa.
That's what someone told me.
And you will honor, you honor Jimmy.
That's
every
what
single
actually
day.
someone told me. By loving someone again, you honoring his love.
Yes. Yes. Love is a spiral, right? We talked about the spiral, and I talk to my clients a lot about the spiral. The spiral occurs in seashells, it occurs in flowers, it occurs in your hair. We are a spiral, so you need to be on that positive spiral and out. Live your life out, live your life.
It's so hard sometimes.
But right, exactly. If you shut down and you stop living your life, then you're not honoring those who have come before. And you're not honoring yourself. So, and they would not want that. I can guarantee that. Guarantee that. If you believe that we die and there's no heaven and there's no coming back and there's no recycling process, so to speak, if you believe this is the only life you get and when you die, I'm still here to tell you that none of those people would want you to stop living.
Yeah.
None of those people. Whether you still believe they're looking over you.
I don't know. We were just joking with my munchkin. I was like, if something happens to me, I would not ever want you to get someone else.
Well, that's like,
I know that was just a joke.
I mean, you would not feel that way.
I know. I just was like, like you better not get someone after a week. After
No, it has to be at least a year. There's a time limit. You will suffer.
Yeah.
But and I think, like I said, these are the stages. To get to where you get to acceptance is to live through your stages, to allow yourself to be in that stage, understand it, and then to rely on those around you.
Or look for help.
Exactly. Rely on those around you. Reach out. Do your work. Do your passion. And if you feel like you've lost your passion, which often happens, if you feel like you've lost your way,
I stopped painting.
Again, understand that every moment of every day is a step forward. And it's up to you to take it. It's up to you to take it. And right now, you may be in that place where you don't want to take it. You're done. You don't want to take it. Trust me that.
And trust her. She's the best.
You
are like my walking angel on earth.
Oh.
Even my munchkin loves you so much.
Thank you so much. I love you.
He called you Diamond.
Aw, he's too sweet. I'm gonna have to keep these up.
He's way too sweet.
But trust me though, there is light at the end of the tunnel, always. And again,
I know it's easy to say.
That I was about to say that might sound like a platitude.
Yeah.
But I believe.
But we experienced it.
Yeah.
So we know we speak from our own experience. It's not like you just never experienced it and you're telling people what to do.
And the way to do it, like I'm saying, is let yourself feel your grief, your anger, your pain. Let yourself feel that, and that will
break
go
shit in the
away.
house. I broke.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I took everything from the shelf. I broke the crap out of everything.
Well, you know what? If that's how you have to do it, that's how you have to do it. If it's running, if it's exercise, but you know what? Reach out to those around you, and understand.
I mean, you think you will, in your heart, you will know when it's time for you to reach out, or
Yes.
not even the loved one. Maybe I'm talking about like
But I was about to say,
psychologists.
if you feel like, you know, that you're just not getting what you need, you know, reach out for help. You know, there's people that come to me through the grieving process. Reiki is awesome for that. People have go to psychologists, psychiatrists. There's grief counselors that specialize in that. And you know, like anything else, work your numbers. Work your numbers. And when I say that to people, what I'm talking about is do your due diligence every single day. Be true and check yourself, check your reality. Have you been true today? At the end of the day, I say to myself, was I true today? Did I do everything in integrity? Did I do what I should do? And if that means that you were angry and you broke every plate in the house, well, hell yes. You were very true to yourself. You know what I mean? And that's okay. That's okay. But only if you leave the window open to the next phase. You must.
Yes.
No matter how bad it feels now.
And tell them I say some message, because I think we are running out of the time. I don't want to go
Yes.
over. But what would you say to those who are around those people who lost someone?
I would say that I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart that you can find something, whether it be faith, whether it be, you know, a passion. If someone loses someone, sometimes they get involved in cancer societies. It was cancer or stroke, whatever, right? Whatever it is, move forward, and you're not leaving the person behind, but move forward.
But for those people who deal with the people who lost someone, for the ones.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, well,
I would say, no. Your English is great. Are you kidding?
It's my
Better than
English.
mine.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I would say be there, be present, and even if you're pushed away, make sure it's very clear that they know you're there, they know that you're ready to help them, and even if it's just to come and sit next to them and not say a word, even if it's just to bring them outside, you know, get them out of themselves for a minute. You know, and talking about, sometimes we think, oh, they don't want to hear my problems. Like, they won't really want to know what happened to me today. But you know what, it's okay to talk to them like normal. You know, treat them as you
give them
as you
time.
would, but
Don't
give
give
them
up on
time,
them.
even if they reject you.
And they will happen. They will reject you. I've been rejecting people for 5 days right now, but.
And you know, and that period of time is different for everyone. But if it's been a little bit of time, get in front of that person's face. Just make sure they're okay. You know, and just continue to be there and do things with them and let them cry, let them scream and yell. Don't judge anything they're doing. But after a bit, be there to pick up those pieces. Just help them pick up those pieces.
And to some of you might help the t-shirt I'm wearing. I mean, my t-shirts really, some people say I'm selling it, but it's just, my t-shirts really help me. I always wear my t-shirts, whatever. I have t-shirts to every expression, every mood, every life situation. I mean,
it's true.
And I love wearing this t-shirt, especially when today, and we're gonna have a little lunch for our IV. Well, I'm so glad you were here talking again.
Thank you so much. I
mean, Wendy is walking cyclopedia. Wendy is walking angel on this planet. That's why I have her here all the time, because she has so much experience, so much to share, and maybe inspire other people. I mean,
you know, and
loving yourself, less time, grief, not perfect timing, but it's the timing when we both go through it. And people in Virginia, I just don't know what to say. I am so sorry. We are all thinking of you.
And I will tell you that in the comments, please, if there's something that you're struggling with, or there's something that you'd like us to discuss, you know, please give us a suggestion.
Or you have a questions about one of my t-shirts and you want to know the story behind it, just let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it was a pleasure
to
spend time with you. Well, and we will see you next time. Thank you for
Bye-bye.
watching. We love you. Bye.